my mom was a union organizer, and the way the strike began, she began to organize a union at Seoul Plastic, and they were not happy with her organizing this union, and at the same time, the workers that were fighting for more jobs, better pay, of course, better positions. And so they tried to form this union, and in the process began to strike. And in that process, my mom, unfortunately, they won their settlement, but she lost her job in the process. She championed on other workers at Seoul Plastic, and like I said, they actually won their settlement. However, my mom reached out to a number of people, and when we talk about community, that she reached out to, and they began to form and galvanize around those workers. And one pastor in particular she wrote to, which is mind-blowing. There's a gentleman by the name of Simmie Harvey, and I do have some show and tell pieces here. So Pastor Simmie Harvey, he actually marched with Dr. King, and Simmie Harvey was a pastor in New Orleans at Mount Moriah. And Pastor Harvey marched with Dr. King. He was the president of the SCLC for Louisiana. However, his son reached out to me and stated that his dad had a unit, and he wanted to actually clean out that unit, and whatever we can grab, we have, right?
It's a
And
storage
the storage unit, right? And so one of the first things we find is we find Mahalia Jackson's funeral program. Pastor Harvey officiated that program. On the inside, there's some handwritten notes where he actually scratched out one soloist and added Lou Rawls in. But the mind-blowing piece of that is, like I stated, my mom reached out to Pastor Harvey in the SCLC, and as I'm going through the documents, there's the letter that my mom wrote to Pastor Harvey. And so within this envelope, we could not find any information prior to on the strike except for a snippet of an article that I found in the National NAACP magazine with my mom and her friend, Miss Jocelyn Hart, where they won that settlement. However, within this document, my mom and Mr. Dale Wolf, another big name in our community, actually wrote a letter to Pastor Harvey, and Pastor Harvey held on to that letter from 1982. And so just the fact that he held on to that, I believe that that fight within this community was a special fight.